Now, we talked just now about judgmental comments, and what we're going to do now is explore some other language patterns that cause damage, that get in the way of an effective coaching process. So let's just run through this. Here's the first one. Listen carefully to the language pattern. Now, you've done okay on the coursework so far, working through the workbook, and some of the things that you've written down have, well, they've been good. What word is coming? What is it I'm about to say? Yes, you know, intuitively you understand the next word is going to be but. Let's run it again. Well, you've done well, and some of the things that you've written down have been helpful. You know the next word's going to be but, don't you? How did you know? Well, you know because of the tonality of my voice, you know because of the physiology that I'm explaining with my facial expressions, my breathing patterns and everything else. And also, you've heard and experienced this type of communicating many times in the past. You just know that the next word that's coming out is going to be a but. Now, what's coming after the but? You know, you understand intuitively, you know the next thing is going to be some form of criticism, some form of request for change, some form of negative vibe. You're getting ready for it. Let's run it again. You've done some good things this morning, and one or two of the things you've written in your workbook have been helpful. You know a but's coming, and you know that after the but is going to be some request for change. It's what we call the but monster, and it's coming to bite you on the bum. The but monster, what it does is it stops people from feeling good. It gets them ready for some impending pain, which is absolutely not what we want to do for Continue and Begin Fast Coaching. Remember, we want people to feel good. If you start to use the word but, all of those natural downward inflections in the voice, all of the physiology and tonality gives the game away before you even say the word but, and then the request for change. So my guidance to you is this: remove the word but from your vocabulary. Change the way that you help people to change. If you want them to operate in a different way, use a different way of communicating. There's a great way of operating. Instead of using the but monster, we use the word and we keep the tonality up. We keep the facial expression and everything else about body language really positive. Here it goes. Hey, one or two of the things that you've done this morning, working through the workbook and the notes, have been fantastic. You've done some great stuff. And what would be great is, as we progress, if you could also, you're hearing this? There's still a request for change. Instead of the but monster, there's an and. You maybe even didn't hear it. It was so slick. There is a difference between but monsters and. Now, other language patterns that get in the way of helping people to feel good. Here's one of them. What you must do, what you need to do, what you should do, what you've got to do, what you ought to do. These language patterns, you can almost see and hear the finger pointing. Let's run it again. What you need to do, what you should do, what you've got to do, what you have to do. These are confrontational, bombastic, aggressive, bullying language patterns that put people on the back foot. Some people should all over other folk. In the process of Continue and Begin Fast Coaching, it doesn't help. Let's get rid of need to, should do, must, got to, have to. Let's get rid of those phrases. They're not helping people to feel good. What other phrases get in the way from time to time? Well, how many times have I told you this? Is not something which is conducive to helping people feel good. What else have we got? Well, I don't mean to criticise. What word's coming next? You know, don't you? But, what else have we got? You could have done so much better. Well, thanks for being so encouraging. Yeah. Here's another one. If I was you, yeah, well, you're not, so shut up. These phrases just put people's backs up. It doesn't help them feel good. And the worst question in the world is, why can't you do it? Now, let's just think about this. Why can't you do it? Do you remember earlier on the assertive question, what else, what else? When we ask assertive questions, people's unconscious minds seek the answer to the question. When we ask somebody, why can't you do it? They go on a journey. There's a fancy phrase for it. It's called a transderivational search. It just means going through the filing cabinets of the mind until they find the reason why they can't do it. And what happens is this. You ask them the question, why can't you do it? How many times have I got to tell you, why can't you do it? They go through the search pattern, they find the reason why, and they present it to you, justifying the reason why they can't do it. What are you supposed to do then? Oh, well, never mind, that's fine. Yeah, okay. I didn't realise. It's a dreadful question. A little bit later on, I'm going to introduce you to something called can't to can, which is a fantastic way of helping people move from where they are to a changed position without any of these destructive language patterns that I've described to you just now.